Next game up on the SBR Bowl betting special, Cheez-It Bowl from Phoenix, Arizona, December 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern kick on ESPN. We got Cal versus TCU. Competitive price here. Pick'em price pretty much all across the board on SBR odds right now. 40.5 the total. Ed, we got a low total here. How would you look to bet the Cheez-It Bowl?
Yeah, I think these are two teams that have really good defenses. These are head coaches with awesome defensive pedigree. Gary Patterson at TCU has always had really good defenses. Justin Wilcox over at Cal has always had great defenses. And he actually was able to turn that side of the ball around pretty quickly when he took over, I think, last year. Unfortunately, both these teams have also struggled on the offensive side of the ball. Cal is worse than 100th in my adjusted yards per play. They are struggling on that side of the ball, and TCU has also struggled. They had that one good game at that neutral site against Ohio State, lost their starting quarterback, and the backup hasn't done really that much better. So even with a total as low as 40.5, the number's still like the under. At the power rank, I use yards per play and a bunch of other statistics to predict a total for every game. The total that my algorithm comes up with is a shade under 38. So even with this kind of total, I just don't see a lot of points in this game. Maybe there's some situations that might persuade you otherwise, but I would definitely lean towards the under in this game in a defensive battle in the Cheez-It Bowl, which is maybe my favorite sponsorship of the entire.
Yeah, I believe it used to be called the Cactus Bowl, and maybe it still is in some form or fashion, but now called the Cheez-It Bowl. And guys, by the way, you can find Ed on Twitter at the Power Rank, also his work at thepowerrank.com. Ed, you touched on a little bit. Cal just 2-9 as far as their over/under, so big under trender for Cal in that defense. TCU, on the other hand, has kind of had quarterback issues pretty much all year long. I believe he's transferring out, and the backup. I really couldn't tell who was actually better for the team, the starter or the backup. Right. They both kind of fluctuated, and he had injuries anyway. So do you see this extra time off helping either Cal or TCU in the end?
Not really. I didn't see any major injuries when I looked at it. I think with that time off, these kids are young, they get healthy, and a lot of the guys that are listed as questionable on the injury report, I think probably get healthy, and that's probably important in the next game. We'll talk about it with Temple and their guys. Actually, someone did a study with my numbers and asked about things like coaching changes and whether that affected how teams performed in bowls. And he found that it really didn't affect how teams performed in bowl games, whether you have an interim coach. And I think it's always a good idea to consider situations and what's going on with these teams and know the narrative about the teams. But I don't think anything in this game in particular, nothing really sticks out to me. You did mention Cal was 2-9 on the total. I think one of the games they went over was Stanford. And I think Stanford total has been a pretty nice thing this season, just because I think people are underestimating their pass offense. I might have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure they went over in that Stanford Cal big game that was that last week, that was championship week. But Stanford's a pretty explosive offense with KJ Costello throwing the ball to those big receivers, and as much as Bryce Love has struggled, my numbers have liked Stanford over a lot this season.
All right, Ed. And so if you had to give a pick, either side or total, you like the under in this one?
Yeah, I would go with the under. I'm probably not my strongest play of this bowl season. I actually do see a lot of value in some of these games, but definitely lean towards the under. If it gets anywhere under 40, there's probably no more value there. But definitely lean towards the under.
All right, good stuff from Ed Fang. Follow him on Twitter at the Power Rank, and we'll have him up for the next bowl game, the Independence Bowl, coming up next.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.